Have you ever heard the term Schadenfreude before? It's a German word meaning experiencing pleasure, self-satisfaction, or joy when witnessing the troubles, failures, pain, suffering, or humiliation of another. Now, this video isn't about Schadenfreude per se, but it is related. And why? Because as a survivor of narcissistic and domestic abuse, I have asked myself this question many, many times. Does hurting you make an abuser happy? And that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me. Come and fly.
I used to tell my narcissistic ex that he always seemed happy with himself when he was being mean to me or hurting me. He would scream at me, laugh in my face, mock me when I would be crying, begging him to stop torturing me in whatever way he was torturing me for that day. I would try and take his abuse, but eventually I would just get fed up and get the courage to say something to defend myself. Then he would smugly say that it was me who was making a spectacle out of myself or that I was being crazy while he was being calm and reasonable. He would try to film me and say, "See how you're acting? See how crazy you are? You're supposed to be staying calm." He tried to train me how to attempt to solve conflicts we would have. He gave me a list of steps to try, and when one didn't work, I was supposed to try the next step. But nothing ever really worked. The only thing I could do was wait out his childish and violent tantrums. He even told me one day he was going to make me stand under an ice cold shower so that I could learn how to not react. Not react to his abuse, in other words. It was always do everything I say exactly how I want it and exactly when I want it. When I look back now at all the ridiculous things he did to me through the course of the relationship, it's just utter insanity. And all the moments that I thought were good and all the times I thought I was happy, it wasn't real. It was all just a lie. Something he wanted me to believe so that he could turn me into a joyless, obedient robot. It was so bad that I thought often about taking my own life. And when I told him this, instead of being supportive and saying, "Oh my gosh, let's get you some help, let's fix this, there's a problem," he was offended. His response was, "So you would rather be dead than be with me?" He said if I was going to do it, not to do it in his apartment. Who says that? And even when I left him and was fighting to heal and come to terms with everything, he still tried to guilt me and pressure me to come back. "Hurry, come home where I can help you heal. We can go to therapy together." Even though I had begged him to go to therapy a long time ago, and suddenly now he wanted to go. I think he didn't want me to go before because he didn't want anyone to know how serious that it was. He didn't want to see his own faults, and he sure didn't want me telling anyone what he was doing to me. He was and probably still is incapable of comprehending the amount of pain and trauma that he caused me. He couldn't see it through his own hubris. He lost a good woman when he lost me. All I wanted to do was love him and get the same love back in return, but he wasn't capable of that. Me leaving him is not punishment enough for him, is what I say. It's not going to teach him anything. It's not going to make him change or want to change. He'll just move to the next victim. But one thing is for certain, he will have his comeuppance one day, whether it's in this life or the next one. So back to the question I posed at the beginning of this video. Does hurting you make an abuser feel happy? I think they get some sort of momentary satisfaction out of being in control and hurting you, but does it make them happy? No, I don't think so. Because they don't know what happiness is. They don't know what it is, and they probably never will. They're miserable people, thus they have to make everyone around them miserable too. They don't want to be alone in that misery, so they're going to make sure you're in misery too. They're not happy with themselves. They're not happy with their life. I believe it's true that hurt people hurt people. I think for someone to become this type of person and do these kinds of things to someone, it's a great indicator that they were probably abused themselves. And granted, this is not an excuse. blaming abusive parents and a rough childhood. That is no excuse because you have a choice. You can either repeat the pattern or do something different. And in most cases, they repeat the pattern. Deep-seated insecurities, fear of abandonment, the need to have control over everyone and everything, anger, jealousy. If a child is subjected to this treatment or witnesses it as they grow up, they think it's normal, and they're likely to end up doing the same thing in their adult life. They're emulating everything that they think is normal, but sorry, not sorry, it's not normal. If you or someone you know is being abused and needs help, please contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline 24/7 at 800-799-7234 or text the word BEGIN to 88788. Please stay safe out there. I love y'all so much, and I'll see you in the next video.